think people just want to have something to talk about because, man, last year when I was out there playing, we were the 6th, 7th seed in the East, and everybody wanted us to lose and tank. So that's not really, a fair fact that you could give out about the way I play. So, because I think it was just, people just wanted to do clicks in the off season. It wasn't much going on, so they just wanted to bring me up in that aspect. So, I didn't really put too much into it, but at the same time, it gets frustrating, whether you want to admit it or not, that people keep trying to spread these narratives and lies about you that just isn't true, and without actually looking at the facts and watching our games. Because, being honest, I'm pretty sure not many people watched the Nets last year.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Cypher. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at NetsKingdom1, and all our Twitters are scrolling at the bottom. So media day happened today. A lot to get to. We're going to get through some topics. Jaeger Demons injury surprise, Drake Powell. Let's talk a little bit about Cam Thomas, the Rooks, and then Michael Porter Jr. and a little bit of the organization. So stick through us through this video. So we'll get through most of what happened today, what was on your Nets Twitter timeline. So again, hit that like button for us. So we're starting with Jaeger. We got the breaking news. Shout out to Lucas Kaplan, I think, reported that Jaeger has dealt with some plantar fasciitis tear. It says here, Sean Marks revealed that the rookie has a torn plantar fascia from Summer League. He'll be limited early in camp, may not miss season start, but expects a build-up period. This is a tough break for a top 8 pick, especially in terms of development and expectations. So, Saif, what was your reaction to Jaeger? It seemed like he got hurt after Summer League, but what was your reaction to that?
I mean, I was a little surprised. Like, this is real information about an injury that we just had no idea about. Didn't get reported in any time the last few months. Apparently happened after Summer League, so late July probably. So he's been dealing with this for maybe 2 months. I know Sean said that he should be fine for the start of the regular season, but it is a little concerning because this is one of those injuries that could be very nagging, could affect his play, a lot of pain tolerance and pain management. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll be fine and this doesn't affect his play or his development, but it is a bit of a concern.
Yeah, I think that, like we were talking about this before, like I think the general status quo, if Jaeger is, they're treating it right now to us, and sometimes, injury reports are not always the truth. They're saying right now that it's not serious and he'll be ready for preseason. But if we don't see Jaeger during preseason or maybe the beginning of the season, how worried are you? Like, is that like, are you putting it to level 10 or is more like, hey, or how worried are you about that?
Nah, I'm not really. Look, if he misses a couple preseasons game, it's not that big of a deal. If he misses like the first couple games of the regular season, then it's definitely more serious than they let on. But unless he misses significant time, like I don't know, it's a small injury. If he misses a month, then yeah, well, we could start talking about like the concerns of like Jaeger, because I don't know. He also said he was dealing with an injury in college and with his shoulder. I mean, if he's hurt now and he misses time because of this, maybe we start talking about injury-prone stuff. But I don't know. I doubt that it'll go that far. I think he misses maybe a couple preseason games.
Prayers up, and we hope that he returns early from that. We don't want to see early rookies go down. But we also got to talk about in the next topic, Drake Powell also dealing with his left knee tendinopathy, aka jumper's knee. Now he hasn't played 5-on-5 so far the whole summer. And we got wind of this early. I know we were talking about this. But he hasn't participated fully in open gym, and the team is very cautious with his ramp up. So,
okay, so this is the thing that we did know about, but we couldn't really talk about it until it was made official. But it's been made official, so we could talk about it. Okay, this one is actually the one I'm concerned about because jumper's knee is a chronic knee injury. He's going to deal with it forever. When you're that athletic, when you have that much of a vertical, you're going to have knee problems inherently. With him, it is concerning because, okay, he's been hurt since the combine. He missed all of Summer League. The fact that he hasn't done 5-on-5s and we're in late September, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a red flag yet because he hasn't missed an official NBA game yet. but it's a yellow flag. Like there is some like level.
I would say my level of concern with Jaeger was like 2 or 3, but with Drake Powell, it's kind of leaning towards that 7, 8. Like it's pretty high, bro. And I think like this jumper's knee is something that's like it's not really curable. You just have to deal with it. And I think Vince Carter had it, right? If I'm not mistaken. So something you have to deal with over your course of career. And it's like, it's hard for a rookie just to come in straight having to deal with that. And it's like I said, if we don't see Drake Powell by February, then then it's going to hit red flag to me. You know, then it's going to hit red flag to me. But if we see him in the G League, you know, maybe developing and getting some game time, getting some run, then it'll make my ease a little bit, you know, because it's like you don't want to see your rookies go down, man. Who wants to see their rookies go down like that? And we just drafted these guys. We want them to play the minutes and get the on-ball reps, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll just have to see with these injuries because with the Nets, and look, when guys get hurt, like they're never fully transparent about the severity of these injuries.
Yeah.
So you just have to wait and actually see if these guys play, and if they don't play, then you know they're serious injuries.
Yeah. Next we got the Cam Thomas and the contract. So everybody was waiting to what Cam Thomas was going to say, you know, and make sure you guys check out our last video. We had, you know, a good debate on why Cam Thomas took the qualifying offer. And in that video, me and Saif were talking about basically, we were really kind of debating like what was CT in his mind really like the reason why he accepted his qualifying offer. So he basically, Mark's here. I got to quote Coach Fernandez emphasize that this doesn't mean Thomas is out the door. They praise his offseason development. CT kept his podium remarks minimal. So when he was asked about the qualifying offer, he said, "I'd rather control my situation. I'm just here to play my game." He also pushed back on narratives and criticism, saying people spread lies about him without looking at facts, comparing, you know, he talked about Zach Lowe. So what was your, you know, I'll probably play the clip in the beginning of this video. So what was your reaction to CT? Did he were you thinking he was going to say that, or like were you surprised by his reaction of why he accepted a qualifying offer?
No, I mean it's exactly what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
The qualifying offer gives him control that no other contract that the Nets offered him gave him with the no trade clause. And I mean, yeah, it just he didn't really say anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, he kept it very like I said, media. Like I said, you could tell he's media trained. Like he was very proper, very media trained. He got his point out of view. He said he was frustrated, and that, you know, he's just here to play ball, but he just really focused on the basketball part of it and just keeping all the other noise to the side. So I think he's gonna let his game do most of the talking this year, but you can tell like his demeanor has always been, when you look at CT, his demeanor has always been kind of just nonchalant, but, you know, very serious. So a lot of people online were like, "Oh, he looks sad, he looks defeated," but I feel like CT's always kept
that's just who he is. Like,
yeah,
he's never going to be an expressive guy.
Yeah, he's never been no like super emotional, happy-go-lucky guy. He's always been like that. So I think he's just trying to prove,
going into like maybe like the narrative stuff, because he talked about that a little, about how he feels people don't watch the Nets enough to really comment on his game and you know some of the narratives about him. And look, I'll say as one of his biggest defenders, it's true. Like there's a lot of like untrue narratives about him. He is a winning player. Like he could be in a context where he could win games. The one thing that he like keeps saying that's still wrong is really the passing. Like he's got to pass the ball more. Didn't average that many potential assists either. I think he's underrated as a passer, but those still need to go up. He still needs to be more active as a playmaker.
Yeah.
I think he has plenty of reasons not to pass the ball. Like the Nets just didn't have players last year he could effectively pass the ball to and get those assists. So I understand why he defaulted to, being more of a shoot first player. But this year he's not going to have that excuse anymore. Like teams value offensive versatility and they value his scoring, but he needs to be more of a pick and roll guy. He needs to be more of a downhill creator, and he's got to really get to at least somewhere in the ballpark of 5 assists this year if he really wants to shake off those narratives about him as a passer.
Yeah, and I definitely 100% agree with you. And he definitely has to show the world, like, yo, I'm really that guy. I'm not just even Sean Marks said it himself in one of the interviews, and I was going to talk about that. He said that
And Jordy.
he has an elite skill. He said he has an elite skill that any coach, any team would want to capitalize off, because scoring is one of the best, is arguably, you could argue, it's the most valuable asset in the NBA, that skill of scoring. So with Sean Marks, it's funny because, like, watching Sean Marks in CT in interview today, it felt like, that fake kind of, that couple that's waiting to break up. I think Saint tweeted this out. That couple's waiting to break up, but it's like everything's kind of fake. You don't know how, it's like very fake, very, oh yeah, me and CT are good, but behind the closed doors, it's like, it's not good. You just could tell it's like one of those situations, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, he something that he said specifically, and good on Brian Luce for asking this question about like Cam's like upcoming free agency, him being unrestricted next year. And Marks answered it best he could, saying, "Oh, there's still a chance he could be on the team next year."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's hard. Like, the actions speak so much louder than the words. And if you really wanted this guy, you would have given him more than a 2-year deal with all those stipulations.
Yeah,
I think unless, I don't know. Like, and Jordy said some stuff like in his interviews too, where he's complimented the work Cam Thomas put in the summer. Expects him to be more of a playmaker, improve his other skills. I think Jordy is being genuine with that. I think Cam's like opportunity is going to be, based off merit. I don't think they're going to really weave off his minutes like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard to really say with this team. It's kind of a failure when a player that you drafted ends up taking a qualifying offer, because that means you've done a terrible job at evaluating them.
Yeah. And like today, we got the media trained answers by Cam Thomas and Sean. Like, we didn't really get the grit of it. We got some good, more knowledge of it during media day. Shout out to all the reporters there. But we got the media trained dance around answers. And with Cam Thomas, we know the situation is, we know it's over. We know it's waiting for an end. Like, there's no reason why Cam Thomas is going to come back here. And we know it's coming to an end. So it's like, we got the fake media train dance answers, but at the same time, it's like, what is, if Sean really had good conversations, like I'm reading these quotes, yeah, I had great conversations with Cam at the end of the summer. It's like, I don't think you did, because if you had great conversations, then this deal would have got done, and we would have had CT for like 2 or 3 years at the most. But you didn't, and you didn't get the deal done. And you had all this cap space in the world. Oh, you can't really use the excuse of the CBA. I see him trying to put like, the CBA and a lot of restricted free agents couldn't get money and all that. But it's like, you still had the cap space at the end of the day. You didn't have to run around and do the sign and waive guys to hit the cap, to hit the floor, or sign random guys and, waive them, get cap. Like,
they could have given him 2 years, $40 million, fully guaranteed, and get him on the books, and it would not have killed the team's long-term flexibility.
Yeah, plenty of money.
There were ways to get him on the team and have him be happy and get a better look at him, but they didn't want to. Like, I don't know, based off the contract that they gave him, it was like, oh, they want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible. And it's like, I don't know, if that's your approach with Cam Thomas, you should have traded him last year or at the deadline and maybe get something out of him, but a second rounder. But instead, you're in this weird situation with him possibly like leaving. And granted, I don't know, like it's hard to really say, because we had this debate where I'm not 100% sure the relationship is done, because the fact that he wanted the no trade clause so badly, I know that to me indicates that he wants a contract with the Nets.
That's fair. I mean, like I said, people might disagree, and I'm on the other end of it. I think it's over, but I think we'll just have to see. And I think Cam TT just focused on the basketball, which is good. He's good focus on the basketball. Yeah. And I don't think the important part is they respect him enough to give him minutes, at least, to, let him play. Let him, okay, sure, go do your audition for the NBA. Go ahead. I don't think they're going to stop that, and that's the important part.
Something Jordy said specifically is, I expect Cam to play 70 to 80 games this year.
Yeah, So you do your job, CD. Stay healthy and give those buckets. Be who you really are, that we all know you to be. That scoring dynamic guard, and just up your playmaking and up your defense. And that's all you have to do. Real quick, before the last thing I'll get to is the Michael Porter Jr. stuff, and then a little bit of what Coach Fernandez was talking about and Sean and the general basis of what they were saying today in Media Day. So Michael Porter Jr. was asked about, social media. It says here, social media is not a big part of my life. Some of the social media stuff was a hobby. He indicated his role will shift, taking more pick and roll, more touches, different responsibilities. And then Mark said internal conversations about his comments will remain private, but they believe Porter is finding his way in a new market. So Sean Marks did kind of shade MPJ today with that quote. I think the juxta of that quote was like, where the organization stands. He knows where the organization stands, and there will be. Did he say there will be consequences? I don't have the exact quote on that one, but he basically, I'm paraphrasing here. He told Michael Porter Jr. like, "Yo, watch what you say. We are watching you." And then I was watching an MPJ interview. I think the last one he just did, and he didn't want to say too much when Justin was asking him Justin the boy was asking him those questions. He didn't want to say too much because
I feel like you be protecting yourself too much, bro.
Bruh, I'm already in trouble with this person. They all telling me like I gotta be able to speak my mind without saying nothing wild, because for some reason every little thing I say goes on the internet and goes viral.
Those conversations that myself and a group have had with Michael will remain, internal. I think this is, as Jordy alluded to, a new environment for him, a new market.
It was he was dancing around a lot of topics because he's like, I'm already in trouble for this and this. I can't say this and this. So it's like, I think the organization is on him because he's been going viral for the wrong things. So what was your take on the MPJ controversy all over, man?
I mean, look, Marks handled it like the way I probably expected him to. Just said, hey, we've had conversations and we made him aware of where the organization stands on these things. I know that's basically like translation that he's saying, hey, Michael, you're in New York. Stop offending all these groups. Shut up.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. He basically just took it's funny that MPJ is like, because we had the Kyrie situation, but like the difference between MPJ and Kyrie is just like, I think Kyrie did more of his he did a little bit of talking, but it wasn't like podcast flow. Like Kyrie would just post a lot of messages on his Twitter and IG stories.
Yeah.
And it would just go viral.
Yeah. And there's also some vaccine stuff with him. And then honestly, if he didn't miss so many games because of the COVID thing, I think all that other stuff wouldn't have mattered as much.
Yeah.
There's also some stuff with Psy that he had an issue with. And also, frankly, 4 years ago, the climate of the country was different where, I don't know, I feel like if Kyrie did that stuff now, he would get away with it.
Yeah, that's fair. Because he wasn't doing that. Like he was doing a little bit, but I think it was a lesser level of Michael Porter. Michael Porter is more vocal and more he's on every single pod. Like you look up, he's on every single pod.
He's more vocal.
Yeah.
There wasn't much happening this offseason, so like his clips went viral because that was the only thing that was happening at times. Yeah,
Kyrie was not really a vocal, kind of like he had some clips here and there, but it was more just posting tweets, messages online, and people would just make the big deal out of it. Or Nick Friedel just terrorizing him in press conferences those days. But let's not get on a tangent. So next up, we'll talk about the organization. So Coach Fernandez in the front office pushed the message: no guarantees, no guaranteed minutes, no guaranteed starting roles. They want internal competition, especially at point guard. The front office was firm that Cam Thomas still. So I'm reading the wrong quote. Yeah, they're okay with Cam Thomas getting his minutes, and just I think Jordy was talking about Cam Thomas's playmaking, which we mentioned. So overall, man, with the organization, did you feel like Jordy and Sean kind of gave you those media trained expected answers today, or were you surprised by anything they said today?
No, they said pretty much what I thought they would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we got new information with Demon,
Right.
Which was like a surprise. But other than that, no, nothing. I mean, look, these guys are never going to say anything damaging.
Yeah.
Like Marks isn't going to say, "Oh yeah, we want to get rid of Cam Thomas as quickly as possible," or like Cam Thomas isn't going to say, "Oh, I'm out of here the second I could be." They're never going to say that publicly. Even if the organization, like, even if they're saying it behind closed doors,
yeah.
Which, funny enough, Mark's even mentioned, we're going to keep some stuff internal. Look, that's just it. Like, you're not going to get really any gems in media day. You'll get new information. You'll get some quotes. You'll get some hope. But other than that, no, you just don't get any legitimate information here.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I don't really. I look for media day more for like what players are going to say, because I know like Sean Marks, like, nowadays we've been through so many media days, bro. Like, it's like scripted, perfect media trained answers. Like, we're never gonna really get the jux of everything. Like, even today when they tried to press him about the CT situation, he kind of a little bit danced around it and kind of just, oh yeah, Cam's great, he wants to be in Brooklyn, he's all in, that jargon that we always hear. He's all in, he's ready to play, he's gonna be to the future, that media train stuff.
Well, okay, I'll say this in his like defense a little bit.
Yeah.
When Brian Lewis asked him the question about like Cam's free agency next year, like Marks didn't have to say, "Well, we don't know if he's not going to be on the team." Like he didn't have to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of their internal, and this is speculation, but maybe the internal conversation was, "Hey Cam, if you could stay healthy and average more assists, we'll give you a long-term contract." Maybe that was the case, and they're both like, "All right, fine." That's a possibility. And I don't know. This is one of those things where they could be telling the truth. And because we have this impression of them, we'll just assume it's a lie. Or they just be lying. And we'll never know. We'll never know until the actions happen.
That's fair. Yeah. We still have a lot of, like, so there's still things in the future that things have to settle, and we got to see where everything's going to go. I mean, but like I said, we can take media day with a grain of salt. I mean, I guess what you got to take. That's what you're saying. We got to take it with a grain of salt. We can't believe everything. We just got to keep a neutral attitude because, it's a year where the Nets have no expectations. We're supposed to be the worst team in the NBA. I mean, like I said, not a lot of storylines, but what Nets fans I think want to see is the rookies. I think that's what they're most excited about is the rookies.
I'd respect it if these guys were honest. Like if Cam Thomas was like, "Yeah, I fucking hate Sean Marks."
Oh no,
it'd be cool. Yeah, if you just said, "I don't know." I wish all of these players like
just be real.
Just be like, "Yep, always hated that guy. I don't like that guy."
There's got to be some like alternate. See, this is what podcasts are for, because like CT can really get his shit off on like a podcast or like go on somebody's show and tell the truth.
Even then, he can't do it. Like these guys never tell the truth. Like, even years after the fact, like KD did that whole podcast with Nash, and he just lied for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, for CT's sake, like actually just focus on basketball. If they let you play, that's all that matters. You don't got to say nothing.
Yeah.
If they let you play. Now, if they don't let you play, that's when I say get out there and get on some bods and start telling the truth of what's going on, because that's your career at stake. So, yeah. So if they let you play, it's all Danny. Don't come out and say anything.
One more thing I want to cover is okay. So, all right, they're tanking, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Are we sure? Because again, Mark said no, we're gonna try. Which I don't know. Based off their actions last year, I believe them when they say that. Like I believe Jordy isn't gonna tank. I believe Cam Thomas isn't gonna try to tank. I don't know. Okay, is this team bad enough to be the worst team in the league?
Yes, I 100%.
Are we sure?
The
East is really bad.
I'm like last year. I was very, very. You know how low I was. Like I did not think we had I think our roster was way too good. This year, I think this roster is very organically bad. Like going into training camp, I remember I think one of the Frank Isola was saying, we have a chance to be the youngest team in NBA history. The youngest team. Just think about that, bro. The youngest team in NBA history, the Nets have a chance to be this season. So it's like, how does that team be anywhere close to a play-in? Not even a play-in. bottom 4 at least. That's bottom 3 if you really want to be honest here. I know the East is bad, but golly, bro, we're playing Michael. Like, if you just look at our roster, how are you just not disgusted? Like it's just not. It's not good.
Well,
it's not good, bro.
I'll play the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Cam Thomas, who's motivated to get a contract. Like, he looks good physically. If he stays healthy, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Claxton said he's not dealing with a back injury anymore, so he might have a good year. Michael Porter Jr., despite his problems, is still like a good NBA player. They got a bunch of gritty wings and Terrence Mann and Haywood Highsmith. Clowney, he's put on some weight. He might have a bounce back year. And I don't know who else. I don't know. Like,
and you're saying if this is everything has to go right for this to us to get past 23 wins. What is your everything has to go right for us to get 25 wins?
Well, no. I'm saying it's like, they might not be the worst team in the league.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
they could be like bottom 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went on a stretch of games in the middle of the season where they won like 4 or 5 in a row and had like spurts of winning, and they're not the worst team in the NBA. Like, they end up winning like 23 games, and they're like the 3rd worst team in the NBA.
Oh yeah, with Danny Ainge, like, I never throw anything out the window with him because he's just an egregious tanker. So he's gonna he's gonna tank. He's been doing this for a long time, so he has ways to get to that worst team in the NBA. But I think, me personally, I think we should shoot for worst, but I'm okay with bottom 3. If we're bottom 3, I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm not. Or okay, at this point, I don't care. Like, the organization is going to do what they do, but this is the draft where they really got to be the worst team in the NBA. Like, I'm looking at and this. I'm looking at like draft prospects.
Yeah.
Darren Peterson, AJ DeBansta, and Carlos Boozer look amazing. Like, all the 3 of those guys like might be on top par or better than Cooper Flagg. And then there's like some other stuff with Nate Ament, Mikal Brown Jr., Dash Daniels might spike. Like, I don't know. These guys are like, you need to be the worst team in the NBA. Like, you really need to get one of these generational guys. And if you're the 3rd worst record in the NBA, you could fall to 7.
Oh yeah, bro. I've been screaming. Yeah, like I said, and this is a whole nother video that we're going to do. I've been talking a long time about this 2026 draft, and I was telling him, trust me, I went viral because I said AJ DeBansta is better than Cooper Flagg, and it got like 200 or almost 1 million. No, it got 1 million views and a whole bunch of angry people in my replies. And now that people are actually doing Google on these 3 prospects, like, these guys are insane, like superstars. Yeah. Really, really, really superstars, and they just touched. They're not even there yet. They're just at the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Boozer's like 6'8", 6'9". He looks like really polished. Yeah. Like, I don't know. He plays like a smaller Tim Duncan, in my opinion. Darren Peterson looks like insane. Looks like SGA, Kobe. Like, he looks like the modern elite shooting guard. DeBansta, like, he's a 2-way menace. Like, he could be, I don't know, if the jump shot comes, he could be like Tracy McGrady. He could be like Paul George. I don't know. These guys are, and Nate Ament. Like, there's so much versatility with Nate Ament. And Mikal Brown Jr., he could be...
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, it's the 2026 draft, bro. I'm telling
U19, he looked better than AJ DeBansta. Like, he led the team in scoring, Mikal Brown Jr. I don't know, just like this draft is so good. Like, you need to get the good pick this year. You just have to. If you care about long-term development and building a championship team, you just got to get one of these guys.
Yeah, we'll say that for another video. I want to really dive into the prospects, like, before the game start. I really want to get into just a couple of videos on that top 3 because we'll do some individual videos on him, on those 3, because we got to talk about it, like, really get into the scouting report before the season starts, and it's going to be an amazing CBB season. This CBB season is going to be great. So hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Let us know your thoughts on NBA Nets Media Day. What was your thoughts?